The number one live show in the world, West Coast Poplock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop up.
Yo, what's up? It's that time again, Tuesday night, 8-ish. We're coming live to you from Compton, California, Pigs.
With the Z.
Hard Z. Hard as Z. We have some special guests in today. Albert and Bruno from Firme Mezcal here to talk all mezcal, bro.
Yeah.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for the invitation.
Muchas gracias.
Pleasure.
Why mezcal? Because everyone has been starting to do like tequilas and all kinds of companies were coming out. And what made you go for mezcal? Because I've heard of mezcal, but I never really had it until it was brought to us. And
really?
Yeah. And then now that's it, man. It's very different.
Completely, yeah. Well, let me start off by thanking you guys again for the invitation.
Yeah.
It's super exciting to be here, man. So I appreciate you guys. My background is restaurant bar business. So
Hell yeah.
So that's kind of like where I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but my knowledge for the spirits world, not only mezcal, but in general, kind of was refined, if you were to say. But I'm from a state in Mexico called Morelos, Cuernavaca, Morelos, which is neighbored by Puebla, Michoacán, Guerrero, which are amazing mezcal states, producing states. Mm-hmm. So this was always in the family, around the family. So mezcal just became a natural, decision for us to kind of venture into the mezcal world. It's always been around the family after, big family meals. Remember our parents, after abuelita cooked them nice big pozole or enchiladas, and they were pouring it from the plastic jug, man, like, bootleg almost, like no brand whatsoever. Mm-hmm. The smoky notes. So it just became something that it was always around me personally. Mm-hmm. So mezcal became a easy decision for us to kind of venture into, So mezcal, it's always been around.
Yeah.
Even longer than tequila, even before the tequila boom of, the 1970s, 80s. So mezcal, it's a very interesting spirit. Let's just say that, and that's the reason that we kind of venture deep into, rediscovering ourselves in this beautiful spirit.
No, definitely. And you talk about restaurants and stuff. I used to go record the whole enchilada for K-Rock, Kevin B. Morning Show, at his restaurant in Fullerton.
Oh, no shit.
Way. Yeah.
I gotta plug my place, man. Revolucion Cantina in downtown Fullerton.
Yep.
21 years strong, and and it's
21 years for a restaurant is.
Yeah. I mean, Kitchener, man, it's been a crazy wild ride, to say the least. We've been through generations of of customers that they have their own families. They met
Absolutely.
there, they built a family, they met there, they got married. Now their kids are 10, 12, 13 years, man. It's crazy to even acknowledge that, and much less surviving the restaurant industry. It's just nuts, man. So we're blessed.
A lot of babies were made. Like, evolution, man.
After, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know about there, but
No.
Yeah.
It started there.
Yeah.
It started there.
Yeah,
with a couple mezcals, and then you went home.
Yeah, for sure.
No, well, mezcal back in the day was not around as what it is now in the industry. It's something that it's, like I said, it's always been there, but it was always kind of like underground. It was considered low quality spirit, for borrachitos and teporochitos.
El Gusano.
The big marketing campaign that it was launched in the U.S. with the Gusano. Mm-hmm. There's T-shirts made like, oh, the Gusano, the worm, the famous worm in la botella. So it wasn't definitely what it is now.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely blessed to be part of this industry and kind of refine my knowledge into what the industry is now. It was fun. It's been fun.
So you guys took it, and where does your mezcal come from?
It's a crazy story, man. But the idea was already brewing before COVID. It was something that I always wanted to do, and not only for myself or Bruno, but for you guys, for the rest of the world. That COVID put a pause on life.
Yeah.
So that was the moment when I reached out to my homie here. It's like, hey, bro, this is what I got in mind. Like, what do you think? This is the guy that puts me on check. For a lot of things. This is my boy since fucking junior high, right? And I wanted to play it safe, because I'm familiar with industrial brands that I was selling. Typically the brands that are coming from Mexico represent something from Mexico into the U.S. Names, logos, brands, El Patrón, El Caballito, El Cerrito, But we grew up here, man. We grew up with fucking, tattoos and lowriders and living in the hood and all that stuff. So we kind of brew a couple ideas until this marketing genius here, man. Like, bro, we gotta fucking take a risk, leap of faith, and believe in what we're doing. And
That's what we do here.
this
Hell
is
yeah.
kind of like what I have envisioned. So like, all right,
Hell yeah.
give me, like, throw it at me. What's up? And we started chopping it up, and
At first
Almost,
he
yeah.
flinched. He was like, I don't know about that. Man. I don't know if I want to go that route. But I'm like, no.
This is how you do it.
Stick to it, dude.
yeah,
Create your own
yeah,
lane.
it was, it's a commercial brand, man. Believe it or not, it's a bottle that now it's sharing space with multi-million-dollar companies. I don't want to drop any names right now.
Sure.
Maybe after a couple of mezcales, we start sipping, I get a little looser. But it's brands out there that spend millions and millions of dollars into marketing ideas, marketing budgets, marketing campaigns, and to have something that it's from unknown people, which is us basically, just an idea that was genuine and unique and original. And now that we're sharing that shelf space with brands that are owned by multi-million-dollar companies, it's surreal, man. It's crazy, but it's been a fun ride.
Yeah, sometimes those brands are just brands. You know what I'm saying? They're like, hey, I'm a mezcal. That's what we are.
Sure.
When you get someone
Yeah.
like yourself that comes, you're bringing it a different angle, trying to bring it from somewhere else.
We deal with a word that we have a very love-hate relationship with on this podcast, and that word is authentic. You know what I mean? Because it's almost an insult to tell us, "Oh, you're authentic." Like, what the? Where it came from was at Lucha Vavu is exactly where, and someone told Steve like, "Oh, you're super like this is very authentic. Like you're super authentic." It seems like I was just a Mexican from Orange County. Like, don't tell me I'm authentic. Like I'm just this and this. It's so. That's the word to use, but it's like such a dirty word on this podcast.
Yeah.
But it's coming from an authentic place. From like this didn't come out of some marketing executive's idea. You know what I mean? This didn't come from some suit guy. This came from real dudes that were like, you know what we should do? I have an idea. Let's make this shit happen.
Yeah, or movie stars that
Homies.
get together with
Right.
like
Hell
athletes.
no.
Oh, here I have money. What should I do with it?
No, this is Orange County homies making it fucking happen.
That's
you know what I mean?
right.
Like, God damn, that's what we do here.
There's no movie star here or anything like that, man.
It's guys that had a passion for mezcal, and like you said, it was something that you've always had around growing up, and it's something that you enjoyed. And then coming up with the angle, and you like you said, it's something that you lived. You lived the lowrider lifestyle, the neighborhood. I've seen a lot of go follow them on Instagram. You see the photos. I see it, and you see the the hoop earrings, the lowrider bikes.
Your
the whole
guys'
nine.
branding is so fucking like all of it.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
Merch
man.
on point. Like social media on point. Like as soon as we started talking, I was like, these dudes know what's up. You know what I mean? Like,
And it's
Made our day,
important.
bro.
and that was before we
important.
tasted. We didn't have a drive.
No.
That was without even tasting it. I'd be like, I support them. And then we had it. And then we had it. And it was like, ooh, what
Yeah,
is
'cause it is
this
important.
right
It's
here?
important to come correct, and it's important to have. If you're gonna have merch, have shit that people want to wear.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get some Mickey Mouse that stuff, and it's like, oh, what's that, bro? And you don't want to wear it. But there's like, the color scheme, the whole thing, man. The
All
hand
of it.
prayers. It's true to what you've been talking today. It's true to what you've been saying about growing up in the barrio and bringing that vibe to the drink that you grew up with.
Totally, man. Totally. It's it's been fun to say the least, man. You know, and all these ideas and branding. You know, it's all Bruno. You know, we fight in a way that, you know, we exchange ideas. Let's put it like that. You know.
Enthusiastically exchange
and
ideas.
me being in the industry, you know, and seeing brands, you know, because I get proposals by, you know, I've been in my business for 25 years, 21 years in this location. So, you know, I get proposals from brands, you know, trying to sell me their tequilas and whiskeys and all that stuff. And believe it or not, man, this branding has never been done in the industry. You know, it's never been done. And it's like you say, it's unique, it's original, it's from the heart. You know, it's something
real.
that real. You know, I felt it and I lived it, and it's real. You know,
It represents us.
It represents us in a way. Yeah.
Hell
And that's the idea behind it. That people out there, the education part is going to be one total different thing. You know, the mezcal industry. It's like I said, it's always been there, but it's new in a way for the consumer. You know, because now not only do you have you know, the original mezcal with the worm, like people were drinking back in the day. Now there's expectations for the palate and for the agaves and, you know, the different notes and all that. So you know, people are getting educated when it comes to mezcal, you know. So we have to keep up not only with that trend, but still stick to what we believe in the branding has to be.
Absolutely.
You know, in the education part. And hopefully we can do a little education for you guys today.
That's what I would like.
We want to convert everyone into mezcal drinkers.
Yeah.
You know? Some people are afraid of it. Bad experience.
I was in Austin, Texas, and we were at a walk-in restaurant. It's like a mezcal bar, and like the whole back of the bar was just, and I was so intimidated and knew nothing.
Yeah.
And it was, so I didn't even end up drinking, and it was such like I knew I missed an opportunity, but I was intimidated. I was high. But I was intimidated, and it's like I wish I knew what was going on so I could know, you know, how to do all that stuff. So I'm very excited about it.
It's got its whole culture.
Right.
Like mezcal has its own culture.
Huge.
You need to know the agaves. You need to know how to drink it.
Right.
You know, all that stuff. And someone doesn't teach that to you, you're going to have a very bad experience.
You're going to hate that shit.
And you're going to be like, mezcal for me? Nah.
Well, you hear that with, like, you know, every other spirit as well. You hear the people that have those horror stories because they didn't have someone to really let them know how and what to mix, what were the better products. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, we're not gonna get too technical and geeky about like, oh, this is the only way to drink it. You know, when people would ask me this often now that I'm doing this, you know, I'm traveling a lot more and doing all this. Listen, man, when it comes to drinking it, you're gonna drink it how you like it at the end. You know, sip it, shoot it, cold with ice, with the drink, whatever. But the proper way, it's this, you know, and why, you know, not only to experience the full expression of the agaves and the notes and all this. It's like, you know, it's like sipping a amazing whiskey. You know, you're not gonna grab a 20-year-old whiskey and just pound it and shoot it, because everyone that knows about whiskey, they're like, man, what the heck, you know, just happened here. And with mezcal, you know, typically it's a high proof spirit. You know, you're gonna be in the range of 42 ABV all the way to 58, 59. You know, and those are dangerous. You know, if you don't know what you're doing and you start pounding those, man,
burn your esophagus.
It's gonna knock you out, man. And that's what I believe that most of the bad experiences with people had with mezcal back in the day. You know, because it was only low quality. I don't know if it was massively produced, but it wasn't as refined as what it is now. So people were chugging it and sipping it, not sipping it, like literally chugging it like tequila.
Like tequila.
You know? And you're drinking a high proof stuff.
Yeah, you're playing with fire.
So after maybe two, people were knocked out and like, F mezcal, man. Like I had a horrible experience. And that's what typically happened in the mezcal world. That people were not properly educated and they had a bad experience, and you know that experience resembled like, hell no, I'm not gonna drink this shit anymore. It's horrible, you know.
And I also think a lot of people don't understand that you have to get your palate like accustomed to it, correct? Because you know what I'm saying, if you're gonna go right off and you're trying to think you can just start drinking it, you know, you have to get used to stuff. It's just like going to a fancy restaurant and you're gonna get some stuff that you've never had. Expect to hey, let me try it once and again and
Just
keep
a
going.
little-
Yeah, it's a
We'll
little.
see what happens right now.
I would say that mezcal doesn't get you fucked up or drunk, man. It gets you magical. It gives you that
They like
magical.
it magical here.
Yeah. There's do you remember what our one of our maestro mezcaleros, Joaquin, down in Oaxaca. We went there for. He had a little kickback because he was launching his new palenque, which is the factory, the distillery, and he busted out, man, like a high proof 58 Mexicano agave. That's what it's called, Mexicano. And that agave, man, gets you it gives you like a buzz, almost like weed. I believe I was fucking like
You were hallucinating.
like almost, man. Like
Yeah.
it was weird, but I wasn't drunk. I wasn't, stumbling because he kept coming like, "Come on, let's go, boom, boom," like just bringing out the bottle. And you get to a zone, like I'm not a weed smoker, but I obviously it's been around, so I knew that I was fucked up, but I knew that I could still function. And then everything was slow motion. I was like, man, it's like, yeah, this shit gives you like that buzz feeling,
Yeah.
and it gives you the magical feeling of
Well,
of
Firma Mezcal doesn't have that yet. Okay, so.
Not yet.
What do we have in front of you? I know they're different bottles than what we have here.
Yeah.
I'll let Bruno take over this one.
Oh,
What we
we got
brought.
our Toala right here, 100% Toala. It's our Silver Medal Award winner. Who gave us the silver?
The Bartender Spirits Awards. It's a basically competition for the spirit industry that is judged by bartenders, bar owners, people behind the bars.
Okay.
So basically, it's not just a general consumer; it's people that know the industry.
Sure.
They know, they know how to run their programs, and those are the ones that are judging it.
So
You know?
what is the difference between these two, and how many are there?
We got plenty, bro. We got plenty.
So I correlate when I talk to people out there, and Alberto's gonna say his part, but I correlate it to wine.
Oh shit!
Mezcal
There's
is like wine.
no kidding.
It's like there's the grapes, right? When you drink wine, you have your Merlots, your Cabernet Sauvignons, or whatever. What you're naming is the grape that you're consuming. In mezcal, that's what you're naming. Every time you see a name down here, that's the name of the agave that you're
The
consuming.
maguey, the agave, yeah. And that's the difference between maybe the tequila industry and the mezcal industry. Typically, if you guys know or not know, tequila can only be legally called tequila, but it has to be produced with only Blue Weber agave, basically Tequilana Blue Weber. So if you guys are down in Jalisco or make it down to Tequila Jalisco, you guys see, hill after hill after hill, acres after acres of just that agave, because the tequila industry is so massive. That's the only one agave that you can legally make tequila with, or call it tequila. And like Bruno said, with mezcales, there's I don't have an exact count, because literally any agave that you see, and it's not even named scientifically, can be produced to be a mezcal. Most commonly used, it's the one our homie has over there, the Espadín. And the reason that it's commonly used for mezcal production, it's the one that matures the fastest. Typically 6, 7, 9 years, depends on the maestro mezcalero's preference. That's typically the range. And it happens to be a cousin species of the Blue Weber, which is, the agave used for tequila. So they're very similar in their shape and also the year that takes to mature, and very similar in their sugar content, which is called the Brix. Basically, as you guys all know, sugar turns into alcohol. So, Espadín, it's the one that it's most commonly used. Then you get into the more technical, wild agaves, tobalas, ensambles, for instance. This is also, we're super happy to also bring you guys a special treat of our ensamble with Espadín, the one homie has over there, and tobala mixed into one, basically one expression,
shit.
one blend. So ensamble means, what it is, to ensemble, ensamblar, to blend, basically. And you can blend from 2 agaves, and we actually have one of our mezcales in the Firme Familia. It's an ensambler or a blend with 6 agaves. So it's going to give you, a little bit of the character of that specific agave. You know, the spiciness, the sweetness, the bitterness, the earthiness. So we blend it into one bottle, and it's gonna give you like a wild ride of fucking flavors, man. It's incredible.
Sounds like you're
let's
gonna
have
get
that.
uberly drunk off of 2 shots.
Now,
So these two are, we're super happy to, you know, bring them and share them with
Hell
you
yeah,
guys.
thank
They're
you.
gonna stay here in your studio for you guys to share with your homies and your guests. And
Nice.
you know, super proud to say that these are silver medal winners recently in
Yeah.
the,
We don't
Yeah.
fuck
the
around.
famous, man.
We're not fucking
Thank you,
around
man.
here. Yeah. bring that
we
back.
got podium mezcal in
That's
here. You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Can we share one of the? Actually interested in trying that the blend.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely, man.
Check out some-
Absolutely.
Well, I saw
Well, let,
the artwork on the bag. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know that's a collaboration.
Since Bruno is our branding and marketing director, I'll let Bruno handle that part.
Well, I don't know how far I should go with that, but the initial idea was to always have a homie on the bag. You know, you recognize a bag. You recognize
Sure.
a bottle with the
Yeah.
bag, with the paper bag. You know, that's what we wanted to represent. And then the initial idea, like Beto was saying, it's like, you know, let's not be mundane. Let's not do the same thing that everyone else is doing. Let's not put caballitos or whatever. Let's put a homie in the front, man. Let's put a homie in the front going like this with a Charlie Brown shirt, you know? It's like everyone recognizes the Charlie Brown shirt, you know?
Iconic. Eh?
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, that was the idea. And then we started looking for artists. Like, who's going to draw this for us? We couldn't find artists, man. Nobody wanted to work with us.
Well, new kids on the block, you know, we
Yeah,
haven't made
sure.
a name for ourselves. And
You know, artists are very particular about their art and how they sell it and how are you going to use it or
Right.
whatever. We're like,
they're
dude.
protective, you know, they
Yeah.
protect their integrity of,
Yeah.
you know, their
So,
expression.
Beto found, did you find this on IG?
I did, yeah.
Some homie in Belgium. Fascinated by the Chicano culture. He's a tattoo artist, dude. And, you know, all his tattoos are Chicano looking stuff. And I'm telling this guy, I'm like, hey, I like that. Let's use that for the bag. Let's hit him up. Let's see if he's willing to sell this.
And I thought that this cat was from maybe LA or East LA or somewhere,
Yeah.
man. You know, we're exchanging messages, and it's like, hey, man, can I come to your studio? And, you know, and maybe we can talk about
Like,
the
sure.
collab and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, if you want. We're like, yeah, we're like, shoot me the address. Like, bro, like, I live in Belgium. Like, we're like where's that? Like, by Santa Ana or something? It's like, no, like,
Yeah, it's by
like
Lakewood.
like Europe. We're like, what the fuck? Like, wait. And I started looking into the links on Instagram. And I was like, why are you tattooing and why are you drawing? And you know, he does graffiti art and on murals and like literally everything that you see from you know his studio, it's Chicano art. He drives a lowrider, he's, you know, bald and all that stuff, and I swear that he was like from somewhere around here, man. And I was like, bro, like I want to meet you and, you know, talk business.
What a
Do the
compliment
collab,
to him.
man.
He's like, hell yeah.
And
he
he's
thinks I'm
like-
from there.
And no, we approach a lot. We're not gonna drop any names because they literally say no to us.
Yeah.
But we approach a lot of local artists, and you know they didn't believe in the project, man. It's like, nah, they wanted to do their own thing, you know.
But you know, I think this is the epitome of what I was always trying to do. It's like the power of the Chicano look, dude. Everyone copies it. Everyone's familiar with it. People in Japan copy it.
Yeah.
You know, this dude in
They do it the
Belgium,
best.
Italy, you know, the lowrider culture. Everyone's copying it, man. And that's what I used to tell Beto. It's like, dude, this has so much power. We gotta utilize this, man.
Yeah.
Let's make it our own.
But I think like you were saying, like in Japan, they're like paying homage to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they get down,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, and they really
Oh,
go
bro,
for it.
the Chicano culture in Japan, Asia, and China, Vietnam,
Vietnam.
fucking
Yeah.
nuts, man. You know, they have all these clubs, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, growing up in the South Bay, it's like you knew if a car got stolen, it was on a container on its way to Japan. You know, if a lowrider got stolen, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah?
oh, there's
Oh,
that
shit,
thing.
like-
That thing's on its way to Japan.
They ship it right away.
Especially the nice ones.
Yeah, nice. Oh, yeah, nice lowrider.
be
Get the fuck
nice.
out of here. It's on.
Heck yeah.
Oh yeah, they don't want no rusted bucket. You know what I mean? Get out of here. Oh, there it is.
Had the little red cup somewhere, Johnny.
Oh, here's.
No,
we
you're
only
good.
got one more.
You're good.
Oh,
You're
okay,
good.
perfect.
Oh, do you want to send it down?
He's on antibiotics.
You send it to him?
Oh, okay.
Oh, I
Here,
put it
send
right
it to
here.
you.
I gave that to Johnny.
Kept it going.
There you go. So, salucita. Don't rush it. Let's.
Sip it. Don't shoot it,
So
homie.
this is where we are trying to change the education of mezcal. You guys You guys, obviously, I see almost an empty bottle of
Yeah.
Espadín here. So you guys been doing it?
Yeah, sure. That's what I was like,
So
we dip it.
this blend here, this ensemble, this blend, it's a 60-40 blend, 60%
Ooh,
Tobalá,
that is delicious.
40%. It's a high proof, man. So if you guys already your palate is kind of used to the Espadín that it's in the middle of the table. You know, it's a low ABV, 42%. It's very approachable. You know, entry level mezcal drinkers. Just kind of introduce you to the spirit. This one here, man. This is the first 2 bottles that came into the Firme Familia, portfolio basically. So the Espadín and this ensemble. You guys gonna notice, it's a higher proof. It's a 46. So it's gonna have it's gonna have that punch. The ABV, the
Get you
alcohol.
warm on the inside.
And that definitely, man. That's gonna come from the Espadín. It's higher sugar content. It's gonna be a little bit more, in your face. But once you let it kind of sit in your palate, 2 or 3 seconds, let the Tobalá do its magic. Slowly, obviously, sip it. And I guarantee you that your second, third, fourth sip is gonna be completely different. Just gotta acclimate your palate to what's coming.
Absolutely. Like I love like a nice scotch, nice whiskey. So like this, like drink that it reminds me of that, where it's like you gotta just sip it and let it sit. And when you like the more like on the back of your tongue, when you let it sit in there, it just gets better. I do not.
Yeah.
But I like to take, here's what you take a little bit and try to spread it all around. Like I don't want to take it straight down. I want it to be all over my
No, and
mouth.
this one, if you guys already took a sip, you'll feel it right in your belly.
Oh,
man.
right
That's
away.
gonna get like nice and cozy and warm, right?
So that's part of our marketing branding. Is we tell people, sip it, don't shoot it, homie.
That's right.
Yeah, remind people.
We don't shoot anything around here.
Yeah.
No, yeah. And you know what? I've never really been just a straight kind of drinker, like straight spirit. It's always been mixed or something. But yeah, learning how to drink it's also something that you need to do.
Absolutely, you become a grown up when you're like, oh, that's just what that you mix that up because it's cheap and tastes terrible. Like, oh, when you get something nice, it tastes good.
Yeah.
Actually, like, oh, I had no idea.
I don't know if you guys are beer drinkers, but you pair it with a nice cold beer, whatever your preference is. You sip your pisto, your chela, and then you chase it with a little sip of mezcal, and you go back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool experience, man. It really gives you that balance of fresh, cold, brew, and then tone it down with a little mezcalito, and it's definitely works. Guaranteed.
Was this the stuff your grandma was serving right after dinner?
I hope that it wasn't this quality. Let's just say, who knows where they're making it, man? And it came from a plastic jug, man.
It's good stuff right there.
That's good stuff, man. And we're super happy to be a silver recipient of this is huge, man. The Bartender Spirits Award. It's judged by bartenders.
Sure.
At the end,
Your peers.
the bartenders behind the bar are gonna be the best sales force that we eventually can attract to.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna, if you have their trust and they believe in the product, they obviously judge it very high. We believe that part of the whole scoring package has to do with, I forgot to send the bag, and also the box and things like that. I just literally I removed the bag and I put it in saran wrap and bubble wrap so it wouldn't break, But I now I know that they judge you by packaging and presentation, and I was like, crap, Now I know. So I know that once we, do the other expressions next year, we're gonna do the whole box, man. We'll package it super neatly that we can send the whole package. Our message is gonna be, received. And at the end, they're gonna score, packaging, presentation, taste, notes, smell,
Oh, so we're sipping on a
and-
gold medal.
And
that's
definitely,
right.
man.
Right.
We have that belief that you go gold, double gold, and I believe that once we understand the process of this and we resubmitted the other, expressions that we have, we're gonna come back with something big, man.
Yeah.
Because we're not cutting any corners, in the whole production process. It's,
If there is one thing that I can tell by everything that I've seen about you guys, is there's no corners being cut. Like this is, I would have bet money. There's no way I would have been like 10 years. Like how long has this company been around? 10 years is what I would have guessed.
Oh, man,
just
that means
based
a lot.
on based on everything, that would have been my guess. So like
it feels
guys-
like a long time, but yeah.
Like, it feels like 20. Feels like we've been around 20 years.
No, because you have the bottles are different. They have a great look to them. You know, even the cups that they sent,
All
the
of
little veladoras. Yeah, man, everything. And that, you know what, when you have the present, because most people, like they say, you eat with your eyes first, and then you
Sure.
smell. And then when you get something like this, like it makes you feel like even, like you said, it makes you feel like the guy in the bag. Like, oh, I'm cool.
That's the idea.
You know,
Well,
like
Makes you feel firme.
absolutely.
That's what you're
There
looking
you go.
for, right?
Bruno has a story about someone that he met at an event over the
just
weekend.
recently, man.
And he called me. I was like, bro, this is, we're on the right track, and this is why. I'll go tell him the story about the homie that.
Dude, I was setting
approached-
up at an event, right? I'm setting up the booth, getting ready to do my thing or whatever. And people are approaching me. It was an influencer for event for the Chicano Hollywood app. Oh, so people are talking to me. I'm not serving drinks yet, blah, blah, blah. And I just see this guy in the back, man. And he's like, he's telling his homies, like, I just bought a bottle. That's Firme Mezcal. I just bought a bottle at the liquor store. And I'm like, this guy's talking to me, and I'm like, I'm listening to that dude, because that's
Yeah,
the loyal customer
yeah.
right there. And I'm like, what the fuck? And he's like, no. I just bought this bottle, dude. And he started telling his homies verbatim the marketing, that all this stuff.
Sure.
And I'm like,
He knew the branding. He knew
working.
he knew the message behind it.
Yeah.
and he was leaving. And I'm like, no. Oh, come over here, dude. No, come over here. Come over here. Hey, I overheard what you were saying, dude. Boom. And I started getting them hats and bandanas and everything. I'm like,
So you got hooked up with all the merch.
Yeah, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
for real. Oh, and we connected, man. We connected. I really appreciated that. Very interesting.
Hell yeah.
So where exactly can we find these bottles out in the wild? Where can we go buy them?
I mean, just where we at in Compton, man. Liquorama in Paramount, Emilio's Warehouse
Okay.
down the street, 91 in Lakewood. It's not too far from here. Tomorrow, actually Thursday, I'm gonna be paying a revisit to the famous Ramirez Liquor. They have a few locations, but I'll be with the cats from Emo Brown.
Okay.
And he's gonna be delivering the pisto from Fools Gone Wild.
Yeah.
So he's gonna give me the personal networking introduction. So hopefully we'll be able to get into Ramirez very soon.
Yeah.
I mean, we have so many liquor stores just to remember all of them, but
Yeah.
South Orange County, Beverage, Wine and More,
How does it work?
Liquorama.
How does it work? Like getting your bottles out into the world, expanding the brand.
Most
How does-
important, go to the website, firmemezcal.com.
there you go.
We'll
You
ship
can
it out
purchase
to
it.
you.
Oh,
we ship
perfect. Get
nationwide.
outta here.
That's
That's how
the
you do it.
biggest and most important.
We're talking about liquor stores. Tell us the website.
Locally, we have a lot of liquor stores, a lot of restaurants,
Sure.
but we can definitely ship
FirmeMezcal.com.
firmemezcal.com. We can definitely
But you-
ship it out to you.
But you know what also helps if you are a fan and you enjoy it, you can go to the store and ask for it, dude. And that's
Hell
what we
yeah.
need. We need the consumer to start asking for our
That's
product.
huge, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Local bartenders.
Go to Norgate, go to Superior or whatever market store you
Liquor
have.
stores, yeah.
Yeah, and ask for it. And so, our name starts popping up, and it creates this buzz and
That's how you
this
do it.
hype.
Yeah, we
And-
had a few accounts reach out to us on social medias and send us emails like, hey, I had a customer request, your product, who's your distributor? And then we kind of like, it's this is the process. Cool. Can you come down and, send us a couple cases? Like, cool. That's usually the best grassroots marketing that we can do. And what do you call it? The guerrilla,
Guerrilla marketing.
Guerrilla marketing, man.
That's how you do it.
out in the
Yeah,
weeds.
my business partner Brad, he lives out in Hermosa, and his buddy was part of the whole Rockstar energy drink.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was go to every liquor store and be like, "Hey, do you have an energy drink Rockstar?" Like, "Nah, but we have this." Like, "Nah," and they would walk out.
Yeah.
They knew they didn't have it there.
Yeah.
But they would all walk out,
Yeah,
and they're
it's
like,
a
"Who the
strategy.
hell is this?
What the hell's
What the fuck's going on with this?" And it came up, and that's in anything though, because even like back in the day at K Rock, Sublime, people would call in, and people were like, "Who the hell is this band?" Everyone's calling in. I mean, they became super famous,
World
but
famous.
That's how you start.
And it was just their
Exactly.
friends. It was people.
Yeah, it was just their friends.
It was
Calling
just them
in
calling
and like,
over and over again.
hey, can you play Sublime? Like,
Yeah.
what the heck are these guys? Yeah.
And the same thing with Freedom of the Sky. You got to go in, guys. You got to go in.
Yeah,
Ask for it.
request it.
Even if you know they don't have it, it's gonna get in their
Drop the
ear,
name.
and it's gonna be like, "Oh, what is that?"
Yeah, we opened quite a few of accounts just with that approach.
Yeah.
And that's something that we intended to do. It just happened by accident, by people asking for it, you know. And then next thing you know, we're getting an order on email and requesting distribution. So, you know, we're super happy to have distribution already in 3 states.
Oh, nice.
You
Hell
know,
yeah.
for the
What
length
are the
of
3
time.
states?
Arizona, Nevada, and obviously California, man.
Sure.
You know,
Oh, it's
top.
expanding out
Yeah.
with the east.
And for the length of time that we've been around, and you know, the new players in the mezcal world, you know,
Saturated world.
3 big saturated
Yeah.
mezcal industry right now, even more than when we started, you know.
Yeah.
Within that time frame, I would easily guess that, you know, over 100 brands launched since we started.
Everyone's got mezcal.
And it's kind of like we talked about, it's going to be the bubble, you know, the mezcal
Sure.
industry right now. And if you're set and you had a game plan and you got in before,
Yeah.
we're still here, man, and we're growing, you know. And I seen we talked about a brand earlier before we got on, you know, that usually it's a trendy, celebrity owned, and they have the marketing budget behind it, but they don't have a plan, you know, a growth plan, a distribution plan, depletion, you know, plan. And yeah, they're gonna sell a lot because of who the person is, but what's after that? You know, what's the plan?
Short money.
You know, and for us to be distributed in 3 states in this length of time, it's surreal, man. It's nuts.
Congratulations.
You know,
Yeah,
thank you, brother.
amazing.
Thank you,
Sure.
thank you, man.
Yeah, I've had people reach out to me after I posted on our thing or my personal one, like, "Hey, where can I get that, bro? I drink mezcal." I'm like, when did you start drinking mezcal? But then I'm like, yeah, check it out, man. Go for it. You know, and they say, how does it taste? I go, well, we drink it on the show, and we're almost done with the bottle, so
Yeah.
that should tell you a lot.
And it's still as saturated as the market may be, I really feel like there's still a lot of room for like the general consumer. And I like feel like I want to have a party now and have like a mezcal party, and I feel like I know something cool that they don't know. It's like, oh, oh, you guys don't know about mezcal? Oh, let me tell you guys what's
And let me
up,
show you how to drink it.
Yeah.
Man. Homie, shoot it.
Exactly. I feel like
Sip it.
we're still ahead of
Don't shoot
ahead
it.
of the curve out here.
And remember who taught you that.
That's right,
You know,
100%.
mezcal.
You think I'm not going to tell this story? Of course I'm going to tell this
Right.
story.
Hey, man, I know someone that owns a bar that we can
I'll
do
be
a
like,
West Coast Pop Lock Mezcal.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yo.
oh, you know, Fear Made Mezcal. Oh, you don't know the sponsor of my podcast? What? Oh, sorry. You haven't heard my podcast, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast? Oh, sorry.
That's the idea,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah.
But that's awesome, man, to have you guys in here and talking about this. Earlier, someone in the day, someone was like, so what's your podcast about? And I go, well, the podcast is just bringing on people that are you know, trying to do
That are doing
Yeah.
it.
that are actually pushing towards a dream, a vision. You know what I'm saying? Because there's plenty of us out there that have the ambition to want to start something, the ambition to, I have this dream that I want to reach,
An idea.
but when you hear people come on here and say, hey, look, we were scared. Hey, he was like, hey, you know, Alberto was like, I don't know about that. But we took the leap, and now look where we're at. 3 states, all over the place. You got people drinking it. I mean, it looks awesome. And, you know?
No, to you know, one of the biggest markets that we have, it's Phoenix, Tucson, Phoenix, Arizona. Vegas is kicking ass, man, like huge. And for me to do my market visits, you know, to support the distributors out there, the salespeople, and they introduced me like, oh, this is the brand owner. That feels pretty good, you know.
Yeah.
First of all, but you know, I'm walking in there as a regular customer to any bar, you know, and then all of a sudden I see our bottle up there, man. You know, like sharing the space with all these brands. I'm like, man, what the heck? It's really happening, you know.
Hell yeah.
And we went in the middle of COVID. We came back from Oaxaca with COVID, you know, from the airplane. Well, let me stop there and give a huge shout out to hopefully, you know, our maestro mezcalero Joaquin down in Oaxaca. He speaks English actually. He was deported by, you know,
Jorge.
Jorge. Yeah,
shit.
he lived here,
Jorge.
man. So it's a
Maestro
young
mezcalero,
mezcalero, young generation mezcalero, you know, open to change, open to new ideas, obviously sticking to the proper and cultural and, you know, history of mezcal, you know, but opening up to new ideas, new adventures, obviously with us. Super cool guy, man. Like, you know, he speaks English. He speaks the native language, Zapoteco.
Native people, man.
He's
from
a singer
Oaxaca.
in the band, and he's a badass maestro mezcalero, man. And, you know, big shout out to Jorge Aron, our homeboy Joaquin, And my brother Daniel Ochoa down in Guadalajara holding down the fort. Basically he's the boots on the ground. Managing all the legalities in the Mexico part. Permits here, permits there, buying the bottles. Sending the labels for production, receiving the bottles, shipping them out. All the logistic part of it.
Yeah.
My brother's got it down, man. We're
Hell yeah.
super proud to build that team, obviously with Bruno on the side, and it takes a village, like literally, it takes a whole barrio, to do something like this, man. And it's been a wild ride. We have some stories out there where we were doing the trips to Oaxaca, not knowing anyone. We connected with this old guy that basically did the introduction to different families, mezcaleras, because we were doing the the research to find a maestro mezcalero. He would I would pay for his flight, pay for his hotel, and he would pick us up at the airport in Oaxaca. Turns out that he kept the money because he was actually taking the bus. He never got the flight. So he was smart about it. He was hustling me on the side, man.
Yeah.
And he would cool guy, man. He picked us up at the airport, take us to the hotel, and then the next day the grind would start. Drive to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Not knowing anyone, like literally in the sierra, in las montañas, just knocking on doors, and we see smoke, and we're like, oh, they're probably cooking agave, most likely. So we would get off and like, hey, buenas tardes, andamos buscando si nos venden mezcal, if you guys would sell mezcal, and produce it for us. We see all these OG, dudes, man, like, what the fuck are these guys doing here? Like, all right, thank you guys, buenas tardes, and hop in the car and up to the next, into the next. Until we ended up with this, maestros and team that we were currently working, and we clicked right away. We clicked right away. They were super down to earth, first of all, and a toda madre se portaron. They right away start sipping mezcal, inviting us to, the launch of their new palenques, distilleries, and we told them like, I think these are the guys. It's time to sober up, maybe tomorrow, and then talk business. Because we had man, and during that research, I think that I had the most mezcal that I had in the last 10, 20 years, man.
You gotta do some research.
All flavors and notes and
Science.
agaves.
Yeah.
Even mezcal with weed in it.
Sure.
The moñitos, the
Yeah.
butts, soaking in this big 5-gallon, big old drums with, I don't know, pounds of weed in it. The mezcal was already green. So that was really magical, man. That was wild. And we're sipping it. It's like, hey, we can also make this. Like, no, I can't export this, man. It's not legal. But maybe in the future, you never know. And all this research was, it's part of the journey, man. It was part of the journey, and now we're here in the U.S. Distributed in 3 states. It's been fun.
You got a fan right here, Raul Gonzalez, who found it in the city of Cyprus.
Yeah, Oscar wants to know
there you
if Oscar missed us saying go to the website. He
Yeah,
wants
it's
to-
on the website, bro. But and then he said he needs Tabalo. Tabala?
Tobalá, okay.
Tabala? Okay.
What's this one? Black bottle.
You guys,
Go
gotta,
to the website, bro.
you guys gotta try this one next, man.
Next, yeah. Well, let me know when you guys are done. Still sipping on the first one, right?
Yeah.
So Tobalá, it's they the legends, say that Tobalá used to be the elixir of the gods. The Tobalá was the agave that the Aztec gods, or who that god might be, would prefer. And me personally, that's kind of like the agave plant or the maguey that I personally kind of, ventured for. That's why you'll find it in our blend here. Tobalá, obviously, it's in here. We have 100% Tobalá, and we also have the ensamble with 6 agaves. You can see it on the website. It's a blue label. And you have a little bit of Tobalá in there too, because I personally, that's what I drink. Doesn't matter what brand. If I'm at a bar, restaurant, and, obviously they don't have firme yet, whatever brand might be, if I see a Tobalá, that's what I personally prefer.
And what do you do when you drink it? You're like, come on, bro.
Believe it or not,
It's not this much.
I got into that kind of like, I'm judging others now.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, you have
And
to.
most likely,
Yeah.
other brands are judging us.
Oh yeah, that's how
course.
it goes.
There's a lot of, I know Bruno's not gonna hate this shit, man, but there's a lot of gatekeepers out there, man.
Oh, of course.
That are super protective of this whole industry and
Culture.
and
Mezcal
like I'm the
culture.
police agave, and I'm the mezcal police, and like,
They
like,
love
the
to make
fuck, bro?
themselves known too. They come around like,
Yeah, man. All of a sudden, everyone's an expert in in the field, and I don't think that you will ever be fully, expert in this field.
Sure.
Because there's always something new. The maestros mezcaleros will always have something new to show you.
Yeah.
Maybe cut a day in the cooking process, or maybe add 3 days. Maybe give you that more smoky because you cooked it more. Now in the fermentation process, maybe cut it 2 days instead of 5. So that's where the maestro mezcalero personal touch, like a winemaker,
Yeah,
it's gonna give you.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty that this guy Jorge was open, to let me kind of like do my own little thing. Like, hey, maestro, I love Tobalá. Let's do this blend. Let's not have the juices separated and blend it. Let's cook them together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's add more Tobalá because I prefer Tobalá. He was like, whatever you want, man. Like, let's try it. And if it doesn't work out and if it doesn't, feel right,
We'll do it
again
Yeah.
until you
That's
feel like
cool.
until you feel it's ready. And Espadín and this one was the first 2 products that we started with, for a while, right? And before we launched the other 3.
How long was the process from beginning to where you're like, this is it?
From legalities, paperwork, all that stuff, or for production?
No, I mean for the trying the blends when you're like, I'm gonna start trying them until you like where you
Over
locked
a year,
it in.
no?
Yeah.
Over a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it takes literally a whole month just to produce 1 batch.
Yeah.
There's brands out there that are being commercialized, like the tequila industry. There's this thing about mezcal in the U.S. consumer. We're like, oh, I don't like smoky stuff. It's too smoky, or is tequila's smoky cousin. Like, if they only knew that tequila, it is what it is now. Recently, mezcal has been there longer. All tequilas are mezcales, but not all mezcales are tequilas.
Right. That's what I was That's what I
know?
was gathering earlier. It's like, oh, so
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Once the aging process and the barrels and French oak and all this and that, the agave now it's picking up that note from the barrel. The oakiness and the aging of the in sherry wine barrels, all that stuff. So it's not only agave that you're tasting. Now you're picking up something else. The beauty with mezcal is there's brands out there that are actually aging this stuff too, but we prefer to do it whole. 3 ingredients: agave, water, and yeast. That's it. Nothing else. There's no aging, there's no barrel, there's no wood touching it, where it's gonna give you that color and that smell and that note. And that's the beauty. That we have a real product out there that we're not cutting corners and industrializing. It's
sure.
artesanal, hecho a mano, small batch. Takes a month to produce it. Not only the agave plants, growing in the sunny hills of Oaxaca, for 18 years, 20 years. That's gonna give you just to put that in perspective, that plant, that agave, it's been sitting somewhere on the hill, soaking up the Oaxacan rays in the rich soil for 15 years, man. And to go and drive up there 2 hours, literally, in a slow-moving truck and jimarlo, cortarlo, pull it out of the ground, bring it down to your palenque. Not only that, but 13 tons of it,
Yeah.
and bring it down and slowly, put them in your palenque and split them in half. That thing it's ridiculous, man. Like, and once you have that product there, now you gotta cook it. It's a conical oven. It's an underground pit, like almost cooking like barbacoa. It's a big hole in the wall with firewood in the center, lava rocks that you light up. They turn bright red, and now the cooking process starts. You gotta cook it for that's where the maestro mezcaleros can 6, 5, 7 days, depends on the final decision. Let it cook, let it chill, let it cool down. Now you start to do the extraction process, the tajona. We use a 2-ton tajona stone pulled by a horse, to really extract all the sugars, the fibers of the cooked agave.
This is real shit, man.
Real horsepower
Yeah,
went
like
into
a-
this.
A rock dragged by a horse.
All I
Man.
know
That's
is
what's
that
going on.
feeding mezcal is keeping it to the roots of mezcal.
Yeah, that's
the
right.
roots.
I know
Yeah.
it's all geeky,
I'm into
technical
this shit.
saben,
Fuck
but it's
yeah,
just
man.
fucking
Fools are out
incredible.
making their shit with robots and all nonsense. We got a rock pulled by a horse, man.
That's right.
You know,
And
I-
that's what makes it authentic. That's what gives it the realness to it.
Artisanal, you know what I
You know, like
mean?
it's like LA, bro. Like, you know, out here tacos were one thing, but when people started doing the handmade tortillas,
Right.
making it like
Takes it to a
almost
new
like
level,
home,
right?
Yeah. And when you keep it real, you know, not just buying something out of the store and doing it. Nah, let's go to that spot and
Or you
make it
go to a
homemade.
taco truck and you see them like get the tortillas out of the bag.
No.
It's like, oh, what? Like, are you kidding
Yeah,
me?
you keep
I'm out-
stepping.
and there's two? Like, I'm out of here. Get
Yeah.
out. I'm done with this place.
So, you know, if you miss keeping it like real, keeping it like, you know, I don't want to say old school, but just keeping it true to
Cook
the
it.
roots. True.
Traditional.
Traditional. There you go.
Traditional.
man.
Yeah.
You know, sticking to the culture of the mezcal
Yeah.
culture. What
But
it
not
really
but not
represents.
fearing the ability to expand in time, in, you know, flavoring, mixing.
It's an
You know what I'm
experiment.
saying? That's
No,
the
no,
great
it's
part.
sticking to what, you know, traditional mezcal has to be.
Yeah.
You know, I was explaining earlier the cooking, the smashing with the tejona. Now you get into the fermenting. You know, you ferment it in open tubs, natural yeast in the air, nothing added. It's natural in the air. Now it's fermented for 5, 6, 7 days, depends on the final product you want. After that, distill it for another couple days. You know, so you're already in day 20. You know, of the whole production process.
Yeah.
Once you go through the first distillation, you gotta clean the still, dump the mezcal back in it. Second distillation, you know. Now you gotta rectify what's your ABV. You add the water to blend it and things like that. Now you're already 25 days in. Now you gotta get it certified to be called a mezcal, to get this little sticker here that will legally, be able to call it a mezcal. It's by the CRM, Consejo Regulador del Mezcal. So now we gotta take samples to the lab, to be certified.
Damn.
You're already on day 28, for the whole process. Now where you finally get approved and be certified, now you gotta bottle it. You gotta filter it. You gotta bottle it. And most important, man, every label, every sticker, every security tag that you see in the bottle is handmade. It's put on by hands, not machines. That could be a couple hundred bottles, or that could be a couple thousand bottles. Each single bottle would be hand labeled. And we're empowering our people. We're doing the best to provide jobs to our people, and not only in the palenque, but the ladies that bottle it and label it, and and everyone trying to take their fair share of this whole process. That's important.
It's crazy you say that, because someone always asks me, why do you still pay your bills through the mail? Like, I write checks and send them through the mail.
You do?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because
You still
that
have
guy's
checks?
gonna lose. That guy's gonna lose his job. Sooner or later.
the mailman?
Sooner or later, I won't be able to do that anymore.
Yeah.
So they're losing their job. So when you have these big companies doing the same thing, and like a machine's labeling everything, that's a job gone.
Yeah.
And these guys right here are keeping these people still employed.
Yeah.
And being able to go home and feed themselves and do that kind of stuff.
Horse
That's
got a
why I
job,
do that.
too.
Yeah. The horse has a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the horse.
You got dragged the rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up investing in a second horse, just to give up with a
There
little.
you go, bro.
with a little.
There you go.
Dude, so good. We got 2 horses.
Best story I've ever heard.
I kid you not, man.
break.
Wait.
Yeah.
So 1 rock and 2 horses, or
Two horses, man. Yeah.
Hey,
same
dude.
rock?
And her name is Teresita, the original horse. The original horse. She's still working, man. She's still grinding. Literally, she's still grinding.
Congrats, that's dope.
Teresita. And big shout outs to Teresita, our horse down in Oaxaca. And I made a promise
You need
to
some
my little girl Daniela that I would get her a horse eventually. Unfortunately, I bought her a horse, but it's down in Oaxaca,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's doing work.
We need some
And-
merch with the horse on
I was
it,
about to
dragging
say
I
the
that.
know,
rock,
dude.
man.
Need
Yeah,
to
I
get
need this-
Teresita on the Fear background. Little
Yeah.
silhouette.
This is all because of her.
Heck yeah.
Or the rock. Ooh, get the rock on
Let
there.
me ask something that might be not too kosher. Is there anything you can mix it with that would be okay, or it's just that's not a no do?
Listen, like I said before, man, like there's no right or wrong way for you personally to enjoy it how you like it. Traditionally, mezcal drinkers are gonna sip it. They're gonna enjoy the full expression.
Okay.
But in the industry now, it's common. It's very common to, mostly for the U.S. consumer. That now you're doing a mezcalita instead of margarita with tequila. Now you substitute it with mezcal. I guarantee you, man, it's gonna take that mezcalita or that margarita to the next level, simply by adding mezcal. I kid you not, man, it's proven. And then it's gonna come to your personal preference.
Yeah.
You know, like however you wanna add an ice cube, enjoy it. You wanna freeze the bottle, enjoy it. But if you were to ask me, like, this is the way to do it, you know.
Yeah,
And,
this is the proper way.
This is the proper way. This is
Yeah.
the you know the.
This is
the
what
way
it was
that it's been
intended.
done- intended to. You know?
Intended to be this way.
So, you know, it's very common. Our espadín, it's doing amazing in the market in you know high volume bars where you know like I said, Phoenix. It's I would think that California would be the number one market for us, but Phoenix, it's really kicking ass in their mezcal game, man. Like people are consuming, I would say, more mezcal than tequila. I might be wrong, but that's what it feels like.
yeah.
Every bar that I've been down in Phoenix, they have a mezcal, and we're super excited to be almost, you know, making a dent in the industry. You walk into Phoenix and you find firme, and you know, and it's that means that people are consuming it, they're drinking it, they're giving it a chance, and if it's firme, even better, you know,
Yeah.
even better, man. And most of it, it's you know, in drinks and cocktails and old fashions and
That's
you know,
I was
things
trying
like
to
that,
look up what the drink I had,
Old-fashioned.
and I had an old fashioned with mezcal, and it was.
I love Oaxacan
I love old
old-fashions,
fashioned,
man.
and then with that one, it was like it was.
Believe it or not, I would not recommend it, but people do it, and bars do it, and bar programs do it because they want to offer their customers, you know, a higher end cocktail. And our jabalí, it retails for $120. The triple distilled wild jabalí, about 18 years for the agave plant to grow. You know, it's a very complex triple distillation. It's nuts. And we have a bar in Phoenix that they do like an old fashioned, a corn. They add a corn liqueur. You know, they're charging $20 for it, but people order it. You know, and it gives you that wow factor. Like you're drinking an old fashioned with a big fat ice cube, and you know, and the jabalí, it takes it to like a different level, man. And I've seen a lot of bars, for instance, Café Sevilla. It's one of our good customers in San Diego, Costa Mesa. I think Long Beach, they also have it. They actually use this. They use our ensamble. They don't buy nothing else out of the 5 expressions. They only buy our ensamble, and they use it in a Negroni. You know, high-end cocktail. They charge also $17, $18 for it. And people consume it. People drink it. You know, people really enjoy their cocktails. You know, so you know, for us, whatever way that you want to enjoy it, we're okay with it.
Yeah, just purchase.
Yeah, keep buying it, bro.
You do
you
it
guys,
however you
you guys
want
ready
it.
for the other one?
Yeah.
Awesome. So like we mentioned before, this is our 100% wild Tobalá. This is the highest proof that we have so far in the family.
Wait, more than the other ones combined?
More.
Oh,
This
what the
is-
fuck?
So
I'm about to make some bad decisions
this
tonight.
is a 47 ABV. This is the highest proof that we have so far. We do have a very special limited edition Dia de los Muertos coming. It's already in TJ actually.
Ooh.
It's already in TJ, ready to cross the border. That's gonna be a 48. That will be the highest ABV that we have so far in our Firme Familia. So this is a 100% wild Tobalá, 47 ABV. Tobalá, it's a very exquisite
Oy.
agave.
This is your preferred.
This is my preferred.
Heck yeah.
This one's your.
That was mine. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. With you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to tell my cousin he owns a bar in Culver City called the
Yeah,
Alley.
we gotta get it in
Gotta
there.
get it in there.
This one's mine, I think. Sorry for being el burro and serving me first.
No, it's all good, man.
This smells like my 20s.
That's cool. Let's see what this.
So you'll feel the warmth of the high ABV, the high alcohol content right away in your throat. Kind of let it sit in your palate, 2 to 3 seconds. You're gonna feel a little bit more tingly, a little more bite in the tongue. Obviously, that's the high alcohol. But the nose,
This one
super
doesn't
fruity,
seem,
super fresh.
Yeah, it doesn't seem as the other one had more bite to it.
That's
in
the
the nose,
espadín.
in the
Yeah,
nose.
that's the espadín. That's a big,
This could be even more dangerous because it doesn't.
Yeah,
the
it's like,
smell's
just
like,
throw it down.
yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a little bit more, it doesn't have that crazy, kick to the balls right off the bat.
Yeah.
No, this is a little bit more,
more
smoother.
more subtle,
More
more
smooth,
smoother.
yeah.
Even though it's not smoother, it's 47.
Right.
But if it almost feels like it's sweeter, smoother because of Tobalá. that's just the full expression of the agave plant. Tobalá will give you that.
The sweetness is in there for
The
sure.
sweetness, yeah.
Oh yeah.
For my palate, I almost catch a little bit of like butterscotch, a little vanilla-ish, fresh greens, like fresh cut grass, kind of like that's what my palate resembles, Super sweet, like you said, definitely sweet on the end palate.
Yeah.
So you'll get a little, like for me, like a little vanilla, butterscotch-ish kind of note.
What are
Yeah.
all these little guys around the F in the logo?
Show it in the camera, Johnny.
Oh, sorry.
Because we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this little guy.
There you
There's
go.
like
That's the F old English, yeah.
yeah. But I mean, these little guys all around here.
The little one.
Oh, around the
Yeah.
around
The logo.
the.
Are those
the-
things or are they just shapes?
So
Agave plants.
They're agaves.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, they're agave plants, and on the side, that's the piñas.
Ooh.
That's the agave when it's cut down before it
la
gets cooked.
penca of the agave, the magate's already been cut,
Yeah,
and then the shape is going to resemble a piña,
yeah,
Oh.
pineapple.
a
Yeah.
pineapple.
I just
So-
came back from Guanajuato not too long ago, and I saw a lot of agave out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, planted everywhere.
I think Guanajuato is one of the states that you can
Yeah.
make mezcal.
Yeah. It was everywhere, bro. I was like, dang. But yeah, man.
Probably cupeatra, that's very common in Guerrero, the Puebla region.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely Guerrero. Cuperata, it's also a very special agave. We haven't made anything with it yet because it's agave that is very specific to that region. Like grapes, like their terroir it's mostly like in the Guerrero Sierra area.
Yeah.
And Cuperata, it's also very, very unique, man. When it comes to with the profile of the notes, right away, mezcaleros and like, oh, that's a Cuperata. It gives you that funky, like cheesy, almost kind of weird taste. Very, very, very specific to that agave, to the region, yeah. What do you guys think about this one? It's
No,
a little more
I like
warm,
it.
huh? Más calientito, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but it's not like that one, it had more bite. This one is just, and like you said, it is stronger,
Ya
but
te
it doesn't have that.
entumiste. Yeah, you are already.
Yeah. Or maybe I'm already
Yeah,
buzzed,
yeah.
bro. So it's like,
No, I think that your palates,
No.
your guys' palate, you guys been drinking Espadín,
Yeah.
and I see, like I said, the bottle's already almost gone.
I want to say that one, it's equally as smooth and not smoother. It doesn't have that crazy. It's really, really low tame.
Yeah. Super approachable.
yeah, that was.
Super
Because I
approachable.
was a little like, oh, man, we're going to drink tonight?
Yeah.
And our guest was into it.
Yeah.
So we just kept shot after shot, and then Johnny's sister just had
We
a
were
baby.
sipping. We don't
Well,
shoot it.
Yeah.
We were sipping. I
Don't-
apologize.
don't
We were
shoot it, homie.
sipping over and over, and yeah, man, we went to town.
I think the ensemble is my favorite one.
Oh,
I
yeah?
think
No.
I like that
Oh, you're
one.
over here?
Yeah, I think I
Nice.
like that
Yeah, it's
one.
people's favorite too, man. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't care. No, I like this one the
Yeah.
best.
Yeah, we're doing amazing with those two expressions. This one, it's a little bit more interesting, a little more
Sure,
funky.
sure.
Depends on your palate, but for me personally, my palate now it's used to like the high proof stuff, like Espadín. I love Espadín, but my palate now looks for something, like more in your face.
Get
kinda
me.
like-
But for me personally, I think this one is not as in your face. At least
Yeah.
for my palate, it's
No,
more
no.
like a smoother, like a chill.
Super, man, like it's super elegant, and that's one
Yeah.
of the reasons.
Elegant's a great word for it.
Yeah, the black bottle, gives you the elegant feel. You guys can see the label, even the texture of the label, the paper. It's completely different than the rest of the. We didn't bring out jabalí, but you can see the candle that we made out of the recycled bottle
It's
that
so
we used.
cool. Yeah.
And it's that's the triple distilled wild jabalí, and I wish I would have brought it, man. My bad, but that one's super funky. Like really, the taste is like almost like like funky cheese, like a little earthiness, like tierra mojada. When you water your lawn and la tierrita mojada, ese olor, and it's very long lasting. Not only on the nose to smell it, but when you sip it, the flavor lingers like por un buen rato.
How
on
many
your palate.
different? I thought it was just these three. How many different mezcals does Firme have?
So far, we have five.
Five.
Dang.
No,
Five.
and so
Five.
These
One
four
sitting in a
plus-
TJ warehouse right now, so we will be 6 by Dia de los Muertos by Halloween.
Yeah, that one
We'll
is
do a
six.
special drop,
So what's
yeah.
the fifth one?
Ensamble de seis.
Ensamble de seis. So it started off with Espadín, Ensamble de dos, 2 agaves. Then we did Ensamble de seis, or in between, 100% Tobalá, and then Wild Jabalí.
So the one with the crazy 6 in it. Johnny's
Yeah.
the one we're missing. That one. And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the first one we got, the aspirin, and then the tobala. That was
This
Yeah,
one.
it's
yeah.
Yeah.
This is where you at.
That's the one that's it. That's the
Yeah.
one that's where it's at.
It's smooth. I'm not
you're-
crazy into beer.
You turned
I
into
mean,
a
to the
tobala?
heavy
Yeah,
stuff.
I like that one.
I used to work a lot at a Broadway bar, and that was a heavy whiskey bar, and their old fashions. That's what they were known for. And fuck, I tried one of those, almost died. That definitely tastes like gasoline and fire at the same time. So it was a little rough, but yeah, fucking
Try old fashioned with this, man.
yeah,
It will take your old fashioned to a new level. You know, it will mess you up, man, but it will take you to a magical place.
ready to make some bad decisions tonight. Just a little bit.
Well, if you want to make a bad decision every Tuesday night, it's the West Coast Pop Lock Podcast coming to you live from Compton Pigs Studios,
Compton.
8 p.m.
8-ish.
8 p.m. 8-ish. Thank you guys for coming out, man. You can get it at firmemezcal.com.
We'll ship
But-
it out to you. Yep.
But make sure to hit up your liquor store, even if you know they don't have it.
Ask for it.
Go
Especially if
ask
they
for
don't
it.
have it.
Yes.
That would
Especially if
be
they
that would
don't
be
have
huge,
it.
guys. Everyone out there, just support the homies here and
Yeah.
go to your local bars, local restaurants, and ask the local bartender,
I'm going
liquor
to-
store owner for firme mezcal.
I'm
You know
going,
what?
to,
Matter
I'm
of
going to
fact-
Circus Liquor in North Hollywood tonight. and
Matter of
tell
fact,
them
even
they
if it's
can
not
get
local, bro, and you're just gonna stop somewhere and grab something, make sure to ask for
Yeah,
it.
all worldwide.
Yeah,
man. We got
just
people
keep
all
asking.
over.
Yeah,
And thank you guys for wearing the merch, man. That's
100%.
super cool,
it's
man.
cool. I
Get
get
it,
it.
of course, yeah.
Hey, there's one thing that I like, and we've talked about this many times on the show. I enjoy merch.
Yeah.
Because for a big dude, it's hard to find merch. You know what I'm saying? So when you can find something, it's always dope to get merch. So, I hope you guys are making 3XLs, 4XLs.
Absolutely,
'Cause we're out there and we want to buy, bro. And 'cause we want to look cool too. You know what I'm saying? We want to look dope. And this shit is dope. We were talking about it like a week ago. And we're like, damn, because I saw some of the other podcasts that won't be named because they're not #1 live every Tuesday. But, it's cool ass shit. Like you said, you guys aren't just thinking about the mezcal, which is the most important thing, of course.
Yeah.
Getting a great product out there. But there also has to be the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? The like you said, the package.
You want it to be attached to a feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
That tangible item in your hand, it's important. you
Yeah.
know, and that was also the approach for the paperback. It gives you the unboxing experience,
100%.
Yeah.
That unboxing experience, you get it in your brown paper bag and just pulling it out, it gives you that
It's
feeling
such a
that you're
good
unboxing,
idea. It's such a
But
good
not only that, you take that to a party with that bag and that artwork.
Right.
People are like, "Oh, let me check out the bag 1st." And then they get it in their head. Hey, where'd you get this? Sometimes just off of that, someone's gonna buy it just because of the bag.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's cool, and that's all we want to do is be cool. You know what I'm saying?
If I may, bro, any artists out there, send us a DM. We'll respond to all the DMs, emails. If you're an artist and you feel like we can do something, together and collab, hit us up, man. This is the whole approach for the iconic brown paper bag. That it's a clean template, to tell a story. Not only the homie in the back, but whatever you as an artist might represent. You're feeling
what is
what you're
firme?
gonna what's firme to you. It could be
Yeah.
anything. And
Hey,
we're
bro,
open for that.
why
And
don't
then
we
tell
just
your
do-
story on the back.
Why don't we just do a Firme Mezcal art show and
I
invite
got-
artists?
I
you know?
got
Come
a
on.
couple.
I like that. I like that, man.
There's
I
already
take down
dudes in
notes,
my,
man.
Yeah.
I like that.
I already have dudes in my mind that I'm like, I know who I
Hey,
should.
Johnny comes from the tattoo world
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
artist
Yeah,
world.
you
so-
come from the marketing promotion
Yeah,
events
man.
and all that stuff, man. That's a great idea, man. Like
should
we're down.
100%.
It's all about giving back to the community,
Yeah.
to the raza. If we can do a little grain of what Firme can bring to the table, and put together, it could be whatever, man. Like it start off as something small, but we can showcase up and coming artists, tattoo
yeah.
artists, muralists, whoever
Yeah.
that might be, to
Give
come
them
and showcase
spotlight.
maybe 2 or 3 pieces.
Yeah.
And have people walk around and listen to their story while sipping on
Yeah.
little mezcalito.
And there's artists
super
out
dope,
there.
man.
You're gonna have different views and different ideas of what it is.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. Definitely. Yeah. I mean,
But
yeah,
Bro,
So
that's
Firme.
that's a
yeah. It's
fucking
not
Firme
about
ass idea, man.
It's not about like
I like that.
It's
See,
not
it's already the mezcal juices, man.
That's right.
Getting creative.
We're in that magical place right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about
See how quick
reaching
that
out.
was,
It's
man?
about creating.
That's right.
So it's gonna be the Firme Mezcal
We're in
art
a magical
show, bro.
place. Let me
You know what I'm saying?
a little more of this, man.
Yeah. But
I
hey,
promise I'm gonna leave the bottle behind.
no, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, the empty bottle.
Yeah. Hey, we know where we can get one. We know
right.
where we can get one.
FirmeMezcal.com.
FirmeMezcal.com. That's where we can get one.
So that's a really good freaking idea, man.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
bro. Those are the only kinds we have here.
Oh,
and-
that's
and-
right.
It's the only kinds we have.
And you know,
Because you know what it's about? It's about cross coming together and doing things and like you said, creating opportunities for other people creates great opportunities for you.
Yeah.
And that's what it's always been about. You know what I'm saying? And that's what
agree,
the West
man.
Coast is too. That's what Firme Mezcal is. Like you keeping those people still putting on the labels by hand. You're still creating that you know what I'm saying, that opportunity for people. So there's so much more to come from Firme Mezcal. I guarantee it. Follow them on Instagram. Make sure to hit them up on the website and get your bottle. All of them are good. I mean, I have my favorite now. And then also make sure to get the merch. They got some cool ass merch. And make sure to ask for it. Even if they don't have it, make sure to ask.
that's important. Yeah.
Especially.
You
that's
got
important.
You got a show?
No, that show got canceled.
Oh,
What the fuck, Johnny?
I know. What a bummer.
well, you know what? At the Firme Mezcal art show, Johnny will be performing at least a 5-minute set of stand-up
I'll be-
comedy.
Yeah.
But anyways,
We
guys,
gotta open it up, man.
yeah, thank you very much for coming out. We
Yeah,
appreciate
thanks,
it.
guys.
It's amazing. It's an amazing drink, a spirit, I should say. And yeah, man, we look forward to sharing this with future guests. And I hope every single one of you have a great night. And remember, Firme Mezcal is the only mezcal.
Oh,
Sip
shit.
it, don't
Sip
shoot
it.
it. Eh?
Sip it, don't shoot it.
We out.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The number one live show in the world, West Coast Pop Lock Podcast. Coming to you from Pig Studios in Compton, California. Featuring radio personality Super Steve Flores. Comedian extraordinaire, that dude Johnny C. And Mr. I'll Do Anything for a Buck, Mario 81. So throw your dubs in the air and let's get ready to pop lock.